see her whenever it rains. From Rome to New Orleans, dancing on the graves. Burdened by the heart, she loves her sunglasses after dark. And every single day her little life falls apart. She's out to look so macabre and so alone. She's close to hook on her dying, like a Gothic girl lost in the darkened world. My little Gothic girl. Hey, darkest side of jewel, are your razor cuts for real? Yeah. You can see she's on a road to ruin. Stigmatas from crucifixion on a pale white skin. Tribal pagan art, she loves her tattooed Egyptian mark. And every single day her love will tear us apart. She's out to look so macabre and so alone. She's close to hook on her dying, like a Gothic girl lost in the darkened world. Like a Gothic girl. Always so dramatic, Christ I love you, Gothic girl. Lost in this darkened world. My little Gothic girl. Hey, darkest side of jewel, are your razor cuts for real? Woo. Yeah. My little Gothic girl, lost in this darkened world. My little Gothic girl. Always so dramatic, Christ I love you, Gothic girl. Lost in this darkened world. My little Gothic girl. The darkest side of jewel are your razor cuts made for me.
So, welcome Jyrki and Buzzy from the 69 Isles. Welcome to Linear Rock, and welcome to Milan, and welcome to Radio Lombardia.
Grazie mille. Happy to be here.
Okay, you're here in our town because you're playing a show tonight, a gig. You are on tour in Italy this
Finally.
week. Okay, and so we're looking forward to see the show tonight. So everybody listening to us on Facebook, please go to the show tonight in Rozzano. They will play for you with Blood in Tears and a couple of other bands. Is that correct? Or is
Yeah, it's a small mini tour that we are doing here in Italy this long everlasting weekend. And last night we played in Bologna area, and now we are here in the Milan area.
Good. So, the 69 Eyes last album was entitled Universal Monsters and was released exactly 1 year ago.
Yeah.
It was
it's a 1 year anniversary.
Yeah, 1 year.
Like
it
now.
was April 22nd, actually, 2016. So you recorded as a band like 11 albums in 28 years. Not bad, but not too much. So was it like, I mean, a choice?
I never heard that before. I'm
You
always
never counted.
I'm always blushing when somebody, mostly like 20 years younger person introduces us and then looking at the paper, oh, you've been playing like longer than I have lived and so on. And now you made it sound like we're actually in the beginning. So thank you for this. This was a very clever move from a very experienced journalist in this case. So thank you.
Okay, so was that, I mean, a choice, like to take your time and not, you know, do too much too soon?
I think, actually, honestly, I think we've done too many records because if we lasted long enough to have this much, but in other way, like most of my favorite bands haven't done more than 5 albums, you know, or something like that, you know, like coolest bands sometimes, but that's because they were so short-lived or something like that. But there's no explanation for that. But there's some news that even though now it's a 1-year anniversary for our latest album, we're already going to have some new music out. Like in the fall, we have a new single coming up, and we're planning for the new album. And I'm tormenting him like every morning we meet, like where are the new demos? And he's still finishing his beer from after show parties. So I guess I won't probably get the new demos because he writes the songs and I write the lyrics. I won't get the demos probably during this nice weekend here in Italy, but we will be back in Helsinki in a couple of days. So then
so you're working also on the road, or
no, I'm explaining that not
that's
really.
What I mean. It's not like, you know, it's really hard. You have so many other things, you know, concentrate on the show and, you know, like doing these kind of things. So it's better to, like, we have been so many years together. It's more like you want to enjoy also being on the road and not to push too much what you do. So, and with the albums, you know, because at some point we did like, you know, every year album, but then, you know, we just wanted to just make it like, you know, more
and
better ones, not just rush them.
Okay.
You know, we have done that too.
And is Universal Monsters a sort of menace? Do you feel just like Universal Monsters?
Well, I mean, that's ridiculous that we have been playing so long. So, I mean, I think that's a term that you could describe our band. We're like very old guys still playing rock and roll, like some like monsters that never die and who are timeless creatures. So I think that can be some way to describe us, and that was like how I felt and how I wanted to portray it, us as a band. And now, as we have been playing a year after that latest album, and we started already, somebody already started to ask like when the new music will come out and so on, even though the new album feels very fresh. So I personally was really questioning like why should we release new music? Who needs that? We have these songs, like now we just played a song called Gothic Girl, which is like some nearly 25 years old song, so like quarter of you know, like century. So
a classic song.
Yeah. You know, if we were now sitting here in the 80s, that would be from the 50s. So that's weird. So back from a time warp. So like, why should we make new music in general? But I think the people who come to see the 69 Eyes and who are still interested in us, they I think that what I have been seeing from the audience. They come and they enjoy our band because we keep on going. That's one of our main values, that we exist, we keep on going. There's so many like legendary bands who have gone, are bygone, and heroes who have left us. So it's our mission to keep on going.
Yeah. And from Finland, HIM just announced, you know, their farewell tour. So it's like,
yeah, I don't know if I'm like jealous that Ville Valo had a chance to say like goodbye, like, or am I on the other hand I'm pissed off because they left us, you know. But you know, we keep on going. So
you have a very particular relation with the producer Johnny Lee Michaels. What makes it so special for you? And will you work with him also on the brand new songs you're working at?
No, yes, exactly. Well, he can explain his part. I will just say that once I was actually a fan of the guy. He was a very famous glam rock like a musician in the 80s.
Yes.
I went to see his shows, and I enjoyed. I think he was very cool. So when I first met him, I was starstruck. Like, oh my God, there's Johnny Lee Michaels, and he was of course very talented songwriter, and I think his music talent lives through the 69 Eyes, that he gave us something that we needed, and we together we have created once again nearly a quarter of a century that kind of rock and roll that you know us from mostly.
Yeah, you could say he's like the sixth member of the band, and and as Jyrki said, it feels like he's bringing something, and he knows us what's best in the band, and just brings the best of us. We've worked with many producers, but it feels like he can capture the essence of the 69 Eyes.
Good. From the last album, the song Dolce Vita has an Italian inspiration, which is Fellini, and it has also something to do with the Vatican bells. Can you explain that?
Oh, that thing. Okay, thanks for bringing that up. I was actually 2 summers ago in Rome, and I need for my soul to stay alive to come to visit in Italy, and I have a lot of friends in Rome, so I always go there, and especially I like the Gothic clubs there. But of course everything else. I think the Rome is the most beautiful city in the world in my books. And then I was just enjoying my afternoon. I was actually at the Capitolini Museum, and there's a really nice terrace, and I was having some glass of wine or something, and it's 12 o'clock, and of course all the church bells of Rome started to chime.
Yeah.
So I was there, and I actually filmed it and then sent it to my friends, like fuck you guys, I'm here in the top of the world, in the coolest place on earth. And then after a while, when I came home and we were recording the album, the producer once again, who really gets the vibe, so he was like, hey, let's use these church bells to start the whole record. So the whole Universal Monsters album starts with the 12 o'clock June 2015 church bells chiming over, and those things in life are what I like, and I like to put them into our music.
And how it came, the Fellini inspiration.
Oh, well, it's probably the song is called Dolce Vita because it's and not La Dolce Vita, because I wanted to little bit not to underline the Fellini thing. I love Fellini movies, but I also love Sorrentino movies. Okay. So more that movie, when I heard his music, strangely that music brought me, because the Le Grand Bellezza really blew my mind. I'm hopefully in the very near future the main guy. I most likely could be already.
Okay, that's how you see yourself.
I saw myself, and I actually have done the pilgrimage in Rome through the places where it's filmed, and I'm a little bit stupid like that, and it's most fun to see his terrace house from Colosseum and everything. So I just loved that movie so much, and then this song he wrote came, and I just put them together. And but on the other hand, Dolce Vita was like it's a cliche expression, but it felt for the rock and roll song. Okay. So I just wanted to put there and use a couple of words in Italian, and you have to notice that I don't pronounce them in American way. I say buongiorno, I don't say buongiorno or something like that. So I thought it was fun. Maybe in the next record there will be songs that I will be singing choruses in Italian or something. If it feels right and it fits, why not?
Okay. The 69 Eyes lineup stayed unchanged since 1992. What's the secret for you guys, to keep it together?
I know everybody keeps asking that, but that's a really hard one.
Maybe we're stupid, like that's something.
No, come on.
That's what I've been answering, because if you think of like successful metal bands these days, they sing their singer after every record, or half of the members.
Okay.
Or if you like, and then the Ghosts, they changed everybody. Who knows who is the singer, even the real guy anymore? Yeah. So we loved the Ramones and bands like that, and we always liked the bands that the lineup is iconic.
Yeah.
So we sort of like thought that this is how we like to be, but this was long before. We're 80s band, so that was long before Guns N' Roses split or Ramones quit or anything. So we were just like, this is how the band should be. It should be always the same guys, and this is what we want. And now we're probably like the last band with original members, like all over the world. I don't know if there's any.
I think when we started, there wasn't too many of like-minded guys who like the same kind of music when it started. I think, and we stuck with that. And I don't think there's even now,
Yeah.
So there's no replacement for that.
We're very old-fashioned, and that was like that felt even. Those questions were over and over asked. Now at this point, when world has turned around again in many ways, even the so-called music industry thing is not in crisis or anything, and so on. So I think that's our advantage. Like I said, like now as we are playing for the audience, I feel and I can see them that they are happy that there's one band which is going like this.
Yeah.
Because we're lost so many good bands and artists, and sometimes it's time to go. We're still here, and we are going to stick around for a while at least. So. But you never know, so please come to see us tonight.
Okay. You never released a live album up until
We did.
2008.
Okay.
The 69 Eyes Hollywood Kills.
Yeah.
Why did you wait so long to have a live album, with the exception, of course, of the DVD, which is dated 2002, which was Helsinki Vampires? Is because maybe you think that live albums are not so important, it's better to go and see the band live, or the opposite, because it's very important and you wanted to release, the right perfect one?
And now it's like now nobody cares about live album.
Okay,
right?
that's
I guess these days.
That's another point.
Except I think like in a couple of weeks or in a week we will have this new Rammstein live movie and DVD, which I'm excitedly waiting.
Okay.
Really. So I mean maybe that will change again what's going on right now. But the live thing is like I think if you once in your life play in a most iconic and legendary venue in the world, and that's Whiskey A Go Go in LA or Hollywood, where we released, where our live album is recorded. So I think that's time to do it. So I guess it took this long because it took this long for us to get to the fucking Whiskey A Go Go.
Okay, so it was the perfect place, perfect timing, everything combined,
just, everything just falls like places, you don't think of, but then you're just wondering, okay, we play Whiskey A Go Go, maybe you should record it, as Jyrki says, so.
Okay.
We don't plan it too much.
All right.
What happens.
Okay, that's good. So you've been with EMI, a major label, and Nuclear Blast, which is, let's call it, a major independent label. Which is the best of both worlds from your point of view? You did it all, so.
I think like we are now with Nuclear Blast, it's like you can have like more personal contact, with the work people who work in the record company. I can take an effect of things.
Yeah.
With the EMI, you have more money, but there you don't know everybody who's working with you on the organization. So.
And those were different times. Yeah. When we were we were even on Virgin, which is like side label for EMI and classic logo, so I was super happy to have it. Then in Finland we were actually also we got this classic RCA stamp when we were on a Sony. So in Finland we've been mainstream band, and which means like we were on talk shows and our music has been played on the major radio stations and so on. Elsewhere we are a cult band. So in that way Nuclear Blast has best connections to the certain level that we appear to. So both we have had very good times. That's why we are still here. I think that's it. Both have been great, and I think everything we've done by far is, in a way or another, have been really good because we are still here. We haven't, reached the bottom yet or ever. In many ways. I mean, there's no downfalls or anything. It's just always been good times. Even the times have been changing, but we haven't expected nearly anything.
Yeah, and it was good time to change from major to smaller company.
Or maybe it just happened.
Yeah, it happened, but as I said, it just happens. But now when thinking back, it was good.
Yeah.
It happened, not stick with the major one.
You started as a glam metal band with a hint, of punk also, but soon after, the Gothic sound and imagery became predominant for you. How did this evolution happen, bringing, the band to the Gothic role that became your trademark?
Well, it's like we played 10 years, and like I said, we started as a glam band, and we even toured in Italy in the mid-90s.
Okay.
And we were like probably the last glam band coming from like Nordic countries back then, and a couple of other friends. And then we just tried to discover our sound, and there was coming interesting new sounds as well, mainly like I could say like Marilyn Manson, and then industrial stuff came, and even Korn was interesting, very different sounding, and we tried to keep our sound like modern. We didn't want to be a retro band. We didn't want to sound like 80s Sunset Strip music at all, even though we were more leaning on to Johnny Thunders and New York Dolls, Misfits, Iggy and the Stooges and stuff, Hanoi Rocks, of course, and stuff like that. So, but from the beginning, my idea, my favorite band has always been the Cramps. So I wanted to bring like a gothic and horror movie elements to the music, way or another, and even with our first single, there was a small comic book which portrayed us as vampires. So the vampire theme and my horror thing was there always, and movie flirtation. And then, then I didn't know what to do because I wasn't any singer. I was just a guy who wanted to do flyers for the band. But I ended up to rehearsals, and accidentally I'm still here. I'm still here, So to save it short, cut it short, and then we did a joke demo of the song we actually just played, Gothic Girl. Well, I sang it from low vocals, and it sounded interesting, and I didn't know that I can reach low vocals. So from that on, producer Johnny Lee Michaels came into the picture as well. He added keyboards, which rose the melodies in our song, and I started to sing a little bit lower instead of like screaming and shouting, and which was, and the low vocal was more interesting than screaming and shouting, and all of a sudden we, of course, even from the beginning, like Sisters of Mercy and this kind of stuff was something we loved, and especially Lords of the New Church, but it took a while to melt them everything, make them every ends meet. And in the beginning, when we had a record called Blessed Be, when it came out, it was really difficult. People didn't really get it, how the band can be a glam band, and on the other hand they sound or look like a gothic and so on. Now it's I think we seriously created that combination, and now it's not a big issue, but that's something I think I'm proud of us bringing together, because if you go to see glam or goth or punk, there's still same subgenres anyways, and there was no difference back then, but at some point people were really questioning about it.
We had this album Wasting the Dawn, which came early before Blessed Be, and there we started to experiment with we had the song Wasting the Dawn titled, a couple other things, but then we couldn't reach that album was like a mishmash, a lot of different styles, and then Johnny Lee Michaels, like as I said earlier, he dug the essence, you know, and the Gothic element there from our music and made it more solid. So that's what we wanted. When we played live, it was too much different styles, you know, because we liked all the songs, all the kind of songs we have done, you know, before Bless Be, but then we thought it was time to be more prolific, you know.
Yeah, and invent something totally like new or something which is ourselves, and you know, but we're rocking, and that was like big surprise for like for instance the Central European Gothic audience, because we are more rock and roll band instead of like shoegazing, you know.
And of course we wanted to then, you know, bring it back, the rock and roll things, you know, like the new album, there's rock and roll chunky, and so like it could be on a second album even, you know. So
yeah, there's always a somehow, you know, like we always, even though we want to make a mellow record, there's always some rock and roll there. So
has your sound and inspiration evolved and changed? Did you ever change also the way to approach music and write songs? I mean, you know, the method that you use to write songs.
Actually,
did it change?
I just mentioned him that like as we are planning the new record, I think the best stuff from the 69 Eyes is the music, which is and especially the lyrics which I write have a lot of things to do with the popular culture, and horror movies and comics and stuff like that. So we, for instance, have a couple of songs which we never did, like referring to horror movies. So I just referred to him like, hey, dig the demos up and let's really make those songs happen, because I think that's the best stuff from us, like to bring like movies into our music, or you know, like use that image. We're more or less like cartoon characters, and I like our band, the Universal Monsters, you know?
Okay.
of course, like nowadays you can use the technology, so it's not everybody has to be in the same room, and that's how we started. But I had the ideas the same way anyway, you know. I had the idea, and then we went to rehearsal with the whole band and create it there. But now we can do it like, you know, I don't know if it's fast, you know, different ways. So it's basically the same thing, you know, but you know, but you know, the methods are different.
As you said, you've been mainstream, but you're now considered more as a cult band.
In Italy, we're a tiny little cult band playing in cellars.
I mean, how do you feel about it? I mean, it's like, did your ambitions changed, you know, through 25, 30 years, and the motivation maybe changed?
I think it's well, I more or less want to be enlightened these days than having like my inner self, than having something and interested in that, like how do I feel, than becoming how I am in other people's eyes.
Okay.
That's how I see the things. So I'm lucky to be here, lucky to be alive, lucky to rock out, and I have a lot of things still in my head and in what my ambitions are. I think with the 69 Eyes, my ambitions have been reached long time ago, you know, because there was the ambition was just to was properly reached very early. So we've been around the world. We have a chance to go wherever we want, and I think my ambitions are done, and I know what I'm capable of and what we are doing next, and what I'm excited, and what's the best I can bring to this music. And I'm happy there's a bunch of people who are enthusiastic about that.
Okay. You formed in 1989 in Helsinki, and how much influential has been the Hanoi Rocks, you know, attitude, style, sound, and success for you guys? Were they like your Beatles in a sense?
Yeah. That was the first song when we ever met. We played it was a cover song, Hanoi Rocks, Taxi Driver, in a rehearsal place. So you can start from that. So I think that's like everything. Basically.
Yeah, and it's more like I think we had a lot of influence maybe like for the music when we started, but it's the attitude, you know. You can especially when you're starting, and that's more like what comes from there.
And Andy McCoy at some point collaborated with you guys.
Yeah.
we know
Actually,
him,
I saw him actually like a week ago in Helsinki when I went.
Is he doing good?
Yeah, it's exciting. He had just released a new single today. You should play it. It's excellent.
Yeah, and he's got a new album coming out. So it's like we did it on the second album. We did one song together. So, yeah. And Michael Monroe, and we know those guys. So it's nice to get to know these guys. After they.
Yeah, they're still our heroes, but we know them a little.
Okay, so music industry has changed a lot since 1989, as you already mentioned. And I read that you stated that you think this is not a bad thing in the end, not bad as it seems. Can you develop this concept and explain your point of view?
No,
everybody is pretty negative, on the fact that now and all those stuff.
There's no reason. I mean, I think the real rockers survive.
Okay.
Like there's been a lot of like middlemen and like wannabe rockers, but the real rockers are still here and making music and doing it for the right reason because they just need to. They have the urge.
Okay. So that's the trick.
That's my definition. Yeah,
Okay.
but I can see that. I mean, if I meet a lot of my friends who are in the bands, and there's still the people. Everybody wants to make music. Everybody wants to play, and they do it just. But there's not so much, income from that. We just have to do it. What else, So
that's the thing. When you do the albums, you do it to please yourself, and you do it when it feels like you have some new music, what you want to bring it to people.
Okay.
Not like somebody saying to you that you need to do an album.
Okay.
That's also like one thing.
And with Wasting the Dawn, 1999-2000, you collaborated also with Ville Valo, who played actually the Doors' Jim Morrison in the video. It was a cameo.
Yeah, it was my old clothes that he was wearing.
Okay, really?
Yeah,
okay.
I gave him like a sort of like old school Gothic London made clothing that he's wearing.
How did the idea came about? You were friends, and how did it happen?
I have no idea.
Oh,
but
really?
I thought he was just like had a better hair than I do, so
okay.
I had long hair and he had this shorter, like Jim Morrison kind of curly hair. So I just gave my clothes and said, "Go to the cemetery and you will be filmed." I wasn't even there. I didn't see when it was done.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was fucking cold. But it looks good, and it was like a magical moment captured on that video. So it was that.
Okay. So Jyrki, you still work also as a DJ? Is that correct?
I've sometimes done that recently, but I've done that also like once again, like couple of decades. So it gets a little bit boring.
Okay.
I thought it would be my when I retire from the 69 Eyes, I'll be touring around the world as a DJ.
Okay.
But like Joey Ramone did after Ramone.
Yes.
So that was like, okay, I will do that. But I've done that so long, so I'm sort of like a little bit retiring from DJing as well. Though I will be next time DJing at the biggest German Gothic festival, Wave Gothic Treffen, on Saturday night if somebody's there, some strange reason. So I'll be playing some Hanoi Rocks, Lords of the New Church, and Sisters of Mercy for anybody interested in.
And concerning this, here in Italy, DJs used to say, when they do the DJ set, I go play tonight. A statement that make, musicians so mad because, you're not playing, you're playing somebody else's music, but you do both things.
Well, I'm as a DJ, I'm more like a human jukebox.
Okay.
I don't mix anything.
All right.
I just play you Pet Cemetery by the Ramones, and then I play you Open Your Eyes by Lords of the New Church, and that's it. I don't mix them,
Okay.
I'm a human jukebox, more like. But I sense the vibe of the room, and I make girls dance.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah.
That's good.
But I make drunk people come to ask me to play Rammstein or Metallica, which I say like later, to wait to them to leave.
Is there anything that, it's the same Jyrki as, is the singer and the DJ is the same person, but...
Unfortunately, for some people is so.
Okay, but, it's like very different for you to make a set list for your own show than, for a DJ set?
Oh, the
How do
people
you
are-
approach it in a different way, or it's still performance
No,
for you?
it's me, and it's like the roots of rock. What I like, what I
Okay.
play. But the people are most sometimes have been surprised, like, oh, because I don't play the 69 Ice songs, of course.
Okay.
That would be like very like weird to be in a DJ booth and play own songs.
Okay.
But that comes sometimes as a surprise for people, because obviously if they want to come to hang out when I'm in town, they like to hear our music, but I don't play them that because I think that would be like really stupid. So
Okay.
that comes as a surprise for people sometimes.
And what about the 69 Cats project and how it is connected with the 69 Eyes?
Well, 69 Cats was something that I just wanted to try out to play rockabilly.
Okay.
And then we had some songs with these guys who sounded a little bit like that, but of course we have to have some limits with the 69 Eyes. So we want to be the 69 Eyes, but there's some time to try out something else. So I had this rockabilly project with Danny B. Harvey from Rockcat, known from Rockcat, and Headcat, the
Okay.
rockabilly band with Lemmy, and the other guys from for the 69 Cats were Chopper Franklin from the Cramps, and on drums on the album is Glenn Burke from Blondie.
Okay.
So a really
Wow.
cool super group of
Yeah.
playing rockabilly. So we just did one album, and we played few shows in America, in a great in Nashville or New Orleans or in Hollywood and things like that. And it was a like really nice rockabilly project. And it hasn't gone anywhere. The record is there for people to check out. Check out 69 Cats. It's everywhere available, and I'm very happy about it. And when the right time comes, we're gonna return and make some new music and play some shows as well.
Okay. So next plans is the new album, which
with the,
is
with
coming
the 69 Eyes, yeah.
with the 69 Eyes
And
coming
the
out.
new single comes out like about November or October.
Okay,
already.
so the album will be right after or in
Let's see
2018?
how fast he delivers me the
Yeah,
songs.
it's next
Okay,
year.
next year. Okay, sometimes next year,
Yeah.
and you're gonna come back on tour, I hope.
Yeah,
So-
hopefully faster. I mean, it's kind of lame that we come here like once in a decade or something like that.
So to end this chat today, you already played one song, which was
Yeah.
Gothic Girl.
You know why?
And the
You
beginning.
know why we played that?
Why that?
Because it was inspired by Roman Gothic clubs.
Okay.
And I also mentioned Rome
Yes.
in the song. And I got really inspired. I was in Rome, and I met some nice Gothic girl, and she wanted to show me something, and we set up a date.
Yeah.
And she took me to the cemetery of Verano. And she told me like that's a place, that's an enormous cemetery in Rome, really beautiful. And the 69 Eyes has done a photo shoot there as well. So she invited me there, and she told that like Roman Goths used to go to Verano and drink red wine and enjoy the vibe, and that was like a really fantastic for me, and that's how Gothic Girl came. Some of the lyrics refer to that, so it was very inspiring for me. But first of all, when we recorded it as a demo, it was kind of more like a humor song when I was like writing the lyrics actually, and pretty close what they are, and just try to get as low voice as possible. So
And
that
now,
was it.
And now you're gonna give us another song,
Yeah.
Unplugged, which is Lost Boys.
Yeah, that's a like I think this is the essence of the 69 Eyes, because I think the best stuff we have done have something to do with the movies and the old culture, which is like related to rock and roll and vampires and horror movies and comics and everything like this. So Lost Boys is like the movie that inspired us to start the band a little bit, because the movie came just like half a year before we started the 69 Eyes.
Okay.
So it was kind of fresh movie, so we couldn't write the song then, it would be kind of lame. So, but 20 years later, it's a different situation, and that's a song we always end up our live show these days. So
Okay.
let's end up this broadcast as well.
As well with that.
So
So thanks
arrivederci,
everybody
everybody.
for
Yeah.
watching. This is the 69 Eyes with the Lost Boys in an exclusive and different version.
Yes,
Unplugged.
arrivederci.
It will be.
Morning light hurts your eyes, but that's another thing. Nothing really matters behind the shades of blue. Blind boys never lie, but that's another thing. Nothing really matters behind the shades of blue. 'Cause in the end, you're just reborn again. You wanna rock. Nothing's gonna make you stop. Nothing's gonna break you up. Everybody knows you're lost in this nighttime, honey. Lost boys. Nothing's gonna make you stop, alright? We are dead until dark, but it's another thing. Nothing really matters behind the shades of blue. You say you wanna live like I do, but it's another thing. Nothing really matters behind the shades of blue. 'Cause in the end, we're just reborn again. You wanna rock. Nothing's gonna make you stop. Nothing's gonna break you up. Everybody knows you're lost. It's nighttime, honey. Lost boys. Nothing's gonna make you stop. Nothing's gonna break you up. Everybody knows you're lost in this nighttime, honey. Lost boys. Nothing's gonna make you stop. Nothing's gonna break you up. Everybody knows you're lost in this nighttime, honey. Lost boys. Nothing's gonna make you stop. Nothing's gonna break you up. Everybody knows you're lost in this nighttime, honey. Lost boys. Nothing's gonna make you stop. Nothing's gonna break you up. Everybody knows you're lost in this nighttime, honey. Lost boys. Lost boys.